Hey everyone, welcome back. We have done more than enough talking around camp over the last couple episodes, so we're just going to head out, I think. I forgot to talk to Ember, and I'm sure there are people around camp that we still need to talk to, but we will do that when we come back. I think Sosiel's side quest is pretty nearby, so we'll bring him with us for now, and then we can always come back to camp and bring Darren back out with us. But I want to get his quest out of the way. Why not? And also looking at the map can give us a chance to see who else's quest is nearby. So yeah, Seelah's quest is pretty close to... this is just the guide for the Crusade map, but I'll talk us through that as we get on with it. Basically, now that we've started the Crusade, we get the extra mechanic of having an army that we can send around to do stuff, and these armies can clear out these demon armies and fortresses to help us progress further and further through the main map. Ulbrich, you said that was close by. That's ages away. Darren and Ulbrich's quests are up here. Nenio's quest is there. And then Seelah and Sosiel's quests are here. So tell you what, let's swap out Ulbrich for Seelah. And we'll do both of their quests. Oh, and we can get... Oh, no, can't do it now. And we'll get them out of the way because we're not really intending to use them. We can also give Sosiel his mythic rank, which, as a giving Sosiel loads of domains is really useful, and the animal domain is important to start with because we can get him a pet, and everyone is always better with a pet. And we'll give Sosiel a riding dog, I guess. I thought that was just kind of a normal dog, but yeah, we'll give him a riding dog. And dogs work really well with Bully because they already have a trip chance, so Bully just makes their trip even better, I think. We'll go perception and mobility. You can use your strength when making a trip attack. Add your dexterity bonus. That's probably a good enough thing to start with, right? Sure. Yeah, sure. Why not? Charlie. Why not? And born on the 29th of Gosran. That's the most important part. Is the is your pet's birthday. I actually think we can, let's just level him up fully. Again, why not? We'll need to get Boon Companion on Sosiel for him for the pet to match Sosiel's level, but we have to wait for another level up to do that. We'll go combat reflexes for the dog's next feat. Yeah, so at the moment his dog's pretty low level, but like I said, we're not really planning to use Sosiel that much in this campaign, so I can't say I'm too worried. Let's go. And hopefully as these are character side quests, maybe they'll be voiced, because I'll be honest, nope, doesn't look like it. Oh well, I'll manage. Noble, an elderly man limps towards a grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair! They were all so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They sacrificed themselves, and an old cripple like me still lives. An elven woman with her face bathed in tears steps up to a grave. She whispers, "The painting, it burned like everything else in the house. There was nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." A young man throws a handful of soil into the open grave and stands beside it for a while, lost in thought. Finally, he sighs and steps back. Sorry, my throat's a bit... throat's a bit dry. Sosiel throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him. He takes a breath and prepares to speak, but it seems that he simply cannot find the right words. The cleric wipes his tear-filled eyes, gathers his resolve, and says in a gentle voice, "I wish you warm welcome in Seelah's realm. We will win this war, I swear to you. We'll banish this ugliness and evil, make the world richer, and let peace blossom in it. We'll make sure anything like this... He breaks into sobs mid-sentence, then falls silent without finishing his declaration. Yeah, we're not going to be disrespectful. We're not that chaotic. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Sosiel is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners nod in approval, wiping their teary eyes. They were all good. I can't believe they're gone. What is that? An elven woman shrieks in horror, disrupting the atmosphere of the silent mourning. Her trembling hands point to something moving inside a grave. Suddenly, a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotting body. It's a zombie! Run! Well, this isn't good.
I won't let you hurt my friends.
Wait, why is it because I didn't rest or something? Why are these guys fatigued? I mean, we can get rid of it with Seelah, but that's still pretty annoying. Lan, do a...
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Instrument of Freedom. Mythic character draws from their freedom. Oh, it's a ranged touch attack. So probably won't be using that too much, but we can try it out, why not? Well, that was alright. And see if... No, we can't do that and another attack. It has to be actual touch attacks. Sosiel's dog. That's why trip's so effective. It really helps. Maybe I need to I thought that Lamb would have more uses of key and Seelah would have more smite evils, but maybe it's because I didn't rest, because I gave them the mythic progression. Get rid of fatigue on Walgif, please. Thank you.
The
Come over
inheritor,
here.
guide my blade.
Sosiel's got a lot of... he's very much a buffer. He's a bit like the good version of Darren. Do a prayer. Waljif, you can just do a double attack. Seelah's horse, Helen, and get in there. Ember, you can let's do a burning arc because that can hit multiple of them. Perfect. Lan, do more standard shots. Let's Just do a touch of fatigue attack. Nest. Oh, amazing. 2 kills in 1 round. That's what we like to see. Seelah, get on your horse. Sosiel, do a bless. We'll try and finish this off, Wooljeff.
Why not both? Can't you just die already?
With a heavy heart, Sosiel looks at the corpses of his friends, returned to rest by his own hand. What is this twisted mockery? Who could possibly... Wait, what is this? He bends down and recovers something from the ground. Take a look at this. Sosiel hands off a black oxen gem to you. Once precious, this stone is now covered in cracks, falling apart in your grip as you examine the engraved Minotaur's head, the unholy symbol of Baphomet. The cleric's voice, perplexed at first, fills with rage as he speaks. Cultists. Simply murdering my friends was not enough. No, they had to come to the funeral and desecrate their graves. Looks like some of the townspeople were only feigning their grief. These demon worshippers are everywhere. Now I understand why the Inquisitors of Canabris became so paranoid. Wait, the townspeople fled the undead without knowing they had a traitor among them. Wherever they are, they're in great danger. We must find them. Okay, let's quickly buff up some
I take
people.
from the rich and take from the poor. It's my way of supporting equality.
Where else would I be?
George, if you can activate your dexterity buff. Ember, give mage armor to Nest.
No reason to pause.
Yes.
Seelah, you can make Nest feel a bit better. Not Ember, sorry, feel less fatigued. Ember, you can also give Wooljeff mage armor.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, give the dog mage armor as well.
Yes.
It always helps. That should be enough for now.
Ask nicely.
Oh yeah, we'll give Lan his
Always be ready for the
bark
worst.
skin as well. Does Sosiel have any longer buffs? No, his buffs are largely, generally shorter. No, just collect all, why not? Let's go then.
We'll make things right.
Let's send Ember off on her own. Just have a quick look around up here. See if we trigger any perception checks. Nope. Right. Let's follow where the townspeople ran off to. Open this damn door, please. Somebody open the door.
You ask me. This is my kind of work.
Hello. Unquieted dead. The half-rotten corpse of a woman shambles out of the crypt. She leers at you with her empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank the gods, and thank you too. I knew this was going to happen someday. They buried me alive. Who are you? Baroness Nylene Bollard at your service. The dead woman bobs a clumsy curtsy, her legs barely supporting her. My estate is not too far from here. Let me assure you that all of you are always welcome there, assuming you are properly attired. I hate to break it to you, but you're actually dead. How dare you? What utter foolishness. Do I look like a corpse to you? No, 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 you forget yourself. You should be ashamed to say such things. The dead Baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. What? How? This simply cannot be. I shan't permit it. I'm afraid it's true. I'm truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. It seems that he disturbed your rest as well. The dead woman covers her face with what remains of her decaying hands. So I died, but even in death the accursed servants of the abyss torment me. Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest. I quite enjoyed my life in this world, but now there's no place for me here. Not in this miserable form. How did you awake? Do you remember anything? Allow me to think for a moment to think. Seems like it, yes. Indeed, I awoke because I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry, or a prayer perhaps. I suppose those were spells then? It must have been your thrice damned necromancer. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good-for-nothing band of hangers-on? Most certainly not, thank you very much. I am reasonably confident that they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed them. They will have to do without my missives. Spare us both that indignity and embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlour tricks. Lay the undead to rest. Rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewellery. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyway. I presumed we'd be able to loot her if she said about taking her burial jewellery. It seems like, it seems not though. See if you
Pretty
can do
good, aren't I?
That's alright.
This is my kind of work.
That's
No,
easy.
you can't loot her. Alright, let's carry on.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
The light take you! Huh?
Use another instrument of freedom, why not? Might insta-kill it. Yep. What horror! Didn't read that quick enough. Hopefully she was saying thanks. So we did just save her
Precisely.
life.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
Zombies are going nuts. And you can do a perfect... Yeah, multiple attacks.
This.
He's got 4 attacks now, which makes him even more effective. Like that. Killing off 2 of them. Woolchief, give yourself a mirror image. Seelah. Amazing. That would actually be very effective to have out now, seeing as we are surrounded by undead. But just do a hit.
Fiend.
Zombies going after the dog. That's just evil. Do Ember, you can do a scorching ray. It's pretty good damage for this stage.
Make every strike count.
There's a zombie
Distract
there.
them from me.
No glory without risk!
We wait. Looks like they're waiting for us. There's a whole squad of undead guarding the door. Maybe we should look for another entrance. I believe we are still technically in combat, Sosiel, but yeah, there you go. Oh, I was hoping you could finish it quickly.
Surrender or else.
Thank you for saving me. You're welcome.
Always watch your back.
So we could either do a full frontal assault or we could try and sneak round, I guess. Let's try and sneak
Thanks,
round.
Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
It's a bit more exciting.
This is my kind of work.
And then we want to do this.
The mongrel did it.
Who are you? What do you want?
Are we playing hide and seek now?
Yes, we are, Ember. This is the end of your blasphemous magic. I won't let you harm the living or the dead anymore. Do you think I need your permission? Hey, you bone bags, stand up and kill. So we just ran past this. This one on the stairs wasn't very effective, clearly. Just triggered all our attacks of opportunity.
Time to share your
Warjif
treasures.
attack the necromancer. Nest, you can also attack the necromancer. Use a shocking grasp. We should be able to end it in one hit. There you go. Unfortunately, his zombies don't die with him. That's fine.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Alright, Sosiel, use damage undead. Best time to use that. And Ember, you can use another flaming arc, seeing as there's 3 of them. Burning arc even. I only hit 2, but that's fine.
The light take you.
Charlie, you can try and trip him.
Cover me, all right? Didn't know I had it in me.
Easy stuff, easy stuff. Okay.
You won't survive me.
Sosiel, do a heal. If I haven't moved you too far. I did. Whoops. That's fine. Ember, just take a shot.
Too late for apologies.
Completely missed.
The inheritor, guide my blade. Yeah.
Seelah has so much more versatility when she has a mount because she can actually move. I surrender. Stop. I give up. Don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws up his hands in a dramatic gesture. You damned rat. How dare you? Suddenly, Sosiel becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists. while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps at the necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag! I remember you. You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you. We shared our table with you and took you in. Then I don't even know what I'm going to do to you. Stop, I surrender, you're... Sosiel ignores the necromancer's cries of pain, punching him right in the teeth. The necromancer spits blood but continues, fighting past the wild blows to his increasingly bruised and busted face. You're a priest of Shaylin. I've surrendered, so you have to spare my life. Your goddess demands it. Do you two know each other? We do. That's Narty, a tailor's apprentice from Canabras. We healed him after he was mauled by a dog. Then he became a frequent visitor to our temple. He listened attentively to our sermons, studied the goddess' teachings, and praised our art. Sosiel grits his teeth. You were lying to our faces the whole time? When we took you in? When you sat at our table? When we broke bread with you? Were you planning to stab us in the back even then? The whole time. Now you understand part of it. Let's dig into the rest. The cultist curved his bloodied lips into an evil sneer. I was hoping to lure you to our side. It wouldn't have been hard. We are everywhere, even inside you. I think you know it too. You are not like all those pious devotees. You pretended to be, and maybe you fooled yourself. But we both see who you really are. You have the same demonic rage inside you. It's a pity I never had the time to kindle it into a devouring flame. But sometimes we have to resort to a backup plan. Having you die at the hands of your dead friends was such a good idea. Pity it didn't work out. Shut up! Sosiel swings his fist but stops it in midair. His clenched fist trembles as he stares at the cultist with an expression of pure hatred. You want to kill me right now, don't you? But you can't. You're a good boy, Sosiel, so loyal to your goddess. You'll have to let me go or commit a sin, so I win either way. Witness the genius of our Lord Baphomet. Ha ha! Is he telling the truth? Your religion doesn't allow you to kill him. Yes. The Eternal Rose is known for her grace. She teaches us to show mercy to anyone who asks for it. It's one thing to slay an enemy in battle, but a captive... You must try to save their soul, to show them the beauty of the world. Persuade them to abandon the path of evil. It's difficult, but the world is better for it. I'm just repeating your own sermons back to you. Come on, Sosiel. Try to make me repent my sins. Perhaps your kind words will make me abandon Baphomet's teachings, run to Shaylin for redemption, and start knitting some masterpieces of my own. The cultist smirks impudently. Or we could tell him to, we can tell him to stop. Is the good option. We're not going to do the lawful or evil, but or we could tell him to hit him some more, but be careful not to kill him. I don't know. I think Sosiel's probably done it enough. Stop, Sosiel. It's not worth breaking your goddess's vows because of filth like him. Sosiel looks at the battered necromancer's face, then at his bloodied hands in disgust. He slowly lowers and unclenches his fists. Thank you for stopping me. I almost broke my vows because of this. I had absolutely no idea there was so much rage in me. It's a shame, a disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like this. It should never have happened. Sosiel wipes the necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away from him. You are the commander and he is your captive. It's up to you to decide his fate. I surrender. Here, take everything I've got, just don't kill me. The cultist turns out his pockets. I don't think I'm going to set him free. What do you think I should do to him? Sosiel stares at the cultist, then through clenched teeth utters, I have no right to decide whether he should live or die. You're in charge here. I will send a messenger with orders to imprison the cultist. His deeds will be punished to the fullest extent of... Nah. I condemn him to death. His sentence will be carried out immediately. No, please, listen, They silence the necromancer forever with a single well-aimed blow. Sosiel bows his head. May the goddess forgive him, for I will not. He looks at you. Thank you for taking this sin upon yourself. Sosiel examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townspeople. It's all right, you're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. This is a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. The townsfolk are clearly terrified of even looking at the fallen undead, but Sosiel's soft words reassure them. As they work together, the graveyard soon returns its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Sosiel bows his head before the graves of his friends for the last time. May the eternal rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way. We have many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Firstly, let's go see if we missed anything. Still can't search her. I wonder if... yeah, let's check if there's anything over here. Nope. Okay, let's get out of here.
Together, we stand.
And now that we're kind of traveling around the map, I think it's kind of immersively fine to take rests in the middle of traveling, because you can kind of headcanon that it's taking a day or so to do stuff. Night Watch, Sosiel are pretty good at Night Watch. Oh, we still need to buy scrolls as well. I keep forgetting to do that sort of thing. Let's go for hearty meal.
If my gran could see me now, I wonder what she'd say. I wonder what put that in my head. Well, that's my night ruined now. I'm gonna hear that old hag's voice in my head all day tomorrow.
Right, and now we'll go to the Hound Heart campsite. What do you mean the part? Oh, are we... okay. There is someone on the road, get ready. Magical anomalies are common in the world of Golarion, so common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. A regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One might naturally assume that the strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the ground, the rain of eyeballs, all that the world wound is known for, should find some purchase in the mortal mind. But even the most worldly travellers feel uneasy at its borders. Why? Perhaps instinctively they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland, but a wound, an ulcer, through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. The commander and our army walk up the high bank of the West Seelah River, where it draws near the border of the world wound. The soldiers feel feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rises a series of cliffs, too regular in shape to have been formed by wind or water. The sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends, the shade of mercury on the horizon rising to a dirty rust. As it arches above the soldiers' heads, it regains its familiar azure hue. The soldiers whisper and grumble. The commander feels eyes upon her back. Somewhere among them, wearing simple armour and unrecognised by anyone, the ruler of Mendev is standing and watching the new commander closely. The commander gives a signal to wait and climbs the highest point along the bank. There, she decides to look around. There is a strange movement in the sky. Black clouds twist into funnels and turn a sickly yellow. The brooding storm is on this side of the river, ahead of the army. Avoiding the strange phenomenon will hardly be possible. The commander decides to... address the soldiers and boost their morale. It's a diplomacy check. She succeeded. Establishing rapport with her troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. Through the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose face and authority. Addressing the army on the border of the World Wound, the commander seeks to establish herself as a military leader on this new battleground. And her efforts prove fruitful. The soldiers listen dutifully, smiles appearing on their faces. Someone in the ranks jokes that the demons are growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. Lines of soldiers step warily beneath the shroud of low black clouds. It is like the World Wound has reached out a finger into the lands of Mendev. The gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes one after another. The tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. The power of the elements is on one side of the scales, the soldiers' faith and inspiration on the other. It's plain to see which is greater. The determined army runs the gauntlet of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army only loses a few bags of supplies and a dozen hats whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the World Wound has ended in favour. Ah, there you go. The Houndheart campsite. Enter. So we were asked to come here by Seelah's friends so Elan could find his engagement ring. Okay. Oh, I literally just rested and everyone's fatigued.
Rely on me.
That's annoying. Everyone except Seelah is fatigued. Use lay hand on others. What's that? People get fatigued very quickly. The pets aren't fatigued though. Okay, Seelah, get on your horse as well. And everyone apply some buffs.
We must stop this war. There's no hope. Only
Ember,
us. The
give
gods
Wolf
have
up.
abandoned
Oh yeah, abundant casting has kicked in now.
Yes.
She's got way more spell
Wanna
uses.
play together?
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, Lan's got a few more key points as well.
Sodi is restless. I wonder why.
Yes. Yes.
What's that glitter?
Wait, what's our formation like? Why is it putting Lan in front? Seelah in front, the dog there, and Woljif is there. And yeah, Sosiel and his dog can kind of be in the middle. That's fine.
That's easy.
I will help where I
Why
can.
is Sosiel fatigued again? Yeah, unfatigue
I
him.
will lend you my aid.
Oh, actually, unfatigued yourself, I guess. That's fine too. Seelah, we're finally here. Alan and Curl must be around here somewhere, and Jana too, if they gave her permission to leave. Ah, there they are. Elan of the Houndhearts. Greetings, Seelah, and greetings to you, Knight Commander. Sir Elan puts his hands behind his back and bows slightly. Then he casts an inquisitive glance at you. He seems less friendly than he was the day you met at the Defender's Heart. Jana puts her hands on her hips. She looks even more dashing than usual. Elan is feeling a little shy. He thought he asked for help from a couple nobodies like us, but now you've turned into the saviours of Canabris, knights of the Fifth Crusade, marked by Iomede's blessing. And you still came to help him dig through a pile of junk, haha? Seelah frowns a little. Let's not talk about it. I assure you I am the same Seelah, your friend from the League of the Cart, and we came here to help you look for Elan's ring. By the way, where's Curl? He didn't come with us. He said an old wound was acting up. Alright, my friends, since we're here, let's finish this mission quickly. I really don't feel comfortable bothering the Knight Commander with my personal problems. Ember. I'm glad we're here to help you, Elan. I hope everything works out perfectly for your wedding too. I love weddings so much, they're full of joy and new beginnings, but I haven't been to any yet. Can I come? Of course, Lady Ember. Let's hope my bride doesn't run away from the bungler who managed to lose the ring he bought for her. What does the ring look like? Where should we look for it? The last time I saw the ring, it was with my things in my travelling chest. Now the camp's in total disarray, I don't know how we'll ever find it. The ring is made of a shiny silver metal with a deep blue-green jewel. You can't miss it. Master Derek is not just a jeweller, he's an artist. There's no mistaking one of his creations. Lan. A trinket worth several months' pay, hey, Elan? The rules on the surface are insane. You should give your girls fried rats like we do. You'd save yourself a lot of trouble. Is there something wrong, Elan? Am I making you nervous? The young knight is obviously embarrassed. I apologise. Jana is right. Much has changed since we met in Canabris. Some things for the better, some not at all. He stopped short, apparently unwilling to elaborate. Alright, off we go. Jana and I will look around the northern side. We'll see you when we find something, or when we give up trying.
I found something.
Not the ring, though. The ground is trampled and there are signs of battle everywhere. The Hound Hearts were clearly attacked by demons here. Knowledge world check.
I'm the best.
Torn flag of the Hound Hearts, a small but noble order of crusaders. That was the longest way around you could go for that, Seelah. Piece of an antique ring. Oh, that's something we can give to the storyteller. Quasit. A small Quasit demon emerges from the chest. It looks at you angrily, screwing up its ugly little face. It's holding a shiny object in its paws, a sparkling silver ring with a large blue-green jewel. It's mine! Mine! Elan, look! Look at that creepy thing. What's it holding? I've seen one of those before. These small demons like to tease and bully, but it'll bolt if it senses any real threat. Let's surround it and attack it all together before it can figure out what's happening. Well, they didn't do very well, did they? Mine! The Quasit throws its paws in the air and splashes you with beams of colour. You hear the insolent giggling. The demon is jumping up and down, throwing the ring into the air and catching it. Mine! Mine! Seelah. Elan! Jana! Seelah glances at her friends, then turns to you. They're all right. They'll come round soon. Quickly, Nest. Let's catch this little rascal before it runs off with the ring. Quickly, follow that wretch. He can't have gone far. Mine. The ring is mine. You can't catch me, silly, weak human.
Precisely.
Come and get me. You're too slow. It's fun to play. Hold on, demon. We're just going to loot everything first.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Always watch your back.
Give me the ring, you scoundrel. Curl. Before Elan manages to get the Quasit, the halfling Curl appears right next to it. Quite out of nowhere, he snatches the ring from the demon's paws. You mustn't get it! Curl, what are you... Thrusting herself between Elan and Curl, Seelah barely manages to absorb the blow aimed at the halfling. Elan, stop! Have you gone mad? He's using a summoning spell. Why did you stop? Some lovely prey stepped into my trap. No, Elan, Seelah, help! Damn it, I didn't sign up for this. Get ready, we're on our own now. Oh, I think we'll be fine. Use a perfect strike, an extra attack.
Into the fray!
Ember, you can use Scorching Ray. Let's just kill the closet. Get it out of the way. And Nest, you can use actually Arcane Weapon Enchantment. Turn on Perfect Strike and do a Touch of Fatigue attack. Sosiel, do a prayer.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Make every
Finish it
strike
off, Lamb.
count.
Perfect. Quick and easy. Seelah. Elan, what were you doing? You nearly cut down Curl. Without a second thought, without a trial, without even knowing if he was responsible for all this. He might be a victim himself. Elan, what am I doing? He lured us into a trap. Curl was the only one who knew where we were going. He knew we thought there wouldn't be anyone at the camp besides some small harmless demons, so he set a trap. I wouldn't be surprised if his demon masters had him targeting the commander from the start. Talk about believing in the redemption of scoundrels. Elan scoffs. We barely know anything about what happened. Curl is a good lad. He's not a spy or a murderer. Maybe they threatened him, tricked him, or even bewitched him with demon magic. And now we'll never know because you let him escape. Better to let a thief escape than cut down an innocent. Elan, think. Seelah was defending someone she thought was her friend, and she stopped you from doing something you might regret. I don't need a shepherd to light my path and save me from regrets. Can you say the same, Seelah? Or you, Commander? You clearly have something to say. Go on then, spit it out. Seelah, I didn't want to say this, but I think of you as my friend, so I'm hoping to warn you. After what happened at the Grey Garrison, you're in serious danger, and maybe not just you. You might like to ignore military hierarchy and the rules of knightly orders, but there's wisdom in them that has stood the test of time. A soldier rises from a private to an officer. A knight begins as a squire. Even Iomede's paladins gain their abilities gradually. But not with you and the commander. You were granted incredible powers, far surpassing seasoned paladins with experience and skill far beyond your years. You received this gift just at the right moment, and saved a lot of lives across Mendev. That's a great deed that will be remembered for ages to come. But what happened next was wrong. They began to worship you. The Queen gave you such vast power, and while you sidestepped everything, training, experience, hardship. All the while you sidestepped everything. This is not the first time Her Majesty has behaved rashly. And how much good has this brought Mendev? I'm frightened by what I see, especially by the way that you, Seelah, trust people so easily and leap into adventures without looking. One day you'll lower your sword when you should have driven the blade home, just like thousands of bright-eyed youngsters will after you. Elan pauses as if reluctant to continue, then looks you in the eye. I wanted to tell you the same thing, Commander. So, if I understand you correctly, I'm an incompetent leader who never earned my position? Ilan looks at you with his clear blue eyes. Bear me no grudge, Commander. I'm not so ungrateful as to forget what you did for Canabris, and how you agreed to help me. I said it to Seelah and I'll say it again. This wasn't a reproach, but a warning. The power you've been given, it may be your undoing, and the undoing of all the Crusaders along with you. Sosiel. Don't be afraid of what's new and unknown. We just need to bear in mind our responsibilities. Whatever was given to us, we can use it for good. In any case, forgive me for wasting your time, and subjecting you to danger here. Now at least we know that Curl is a traitor, and Jano is a coward ready to abandon her friends when the going gets rough. I hope we'll all learn a lesson from these mistakes. As for that blasted ring, to hell with it. Kiana won't love me solely for the gifts I bring her. Ilan makes no attempt to conceal his disappointment. Nodding goodbye, he lowers his head and walks away. Seelah watches as he leaves. Her expressive eyes are filled with sadness. Everything's becoming very complicated all of a sudden. Please, Ness, let's go back. And I'd like to talk to you about it later. I have a lot to think about. We'll do just that. Let's just finish exploring this area before we leave. The tent has been cut open from the inside. Knight's apparently left in a hurry. The tent is different from the rest. There's a strong burnt smell around it and rustling coming from within. Check the tent. Oh, hello. There's demons in the tent.
You've crossed the wrong Monvo.
They're Brimarax as well. Well, one's dead. I think I might have made the wrong choice in picking Prescient Strike. I think enduring Blade would have been better. But we can get it at a later level. I think.
The light! Thank you!
Let's try and go down here.
This is my kind of work.
Oh, okay.
Careful now.
That's probably a shield we can give to Seelah, isn't it? Divine Protector. Yeah, we'll give that to Seelah. You know, I thought Seelah's Sword Radiance was meant to get a bit of a buff. It was Staunton's brother, wasn't it, that said he could improve it for us. I'll have to check camp and see if he's still about. Yeah, I know everyone's fatigued. No, we'll rest it. We'll go back to the camp and rest there. Oh, okay, everyone's like proper. Okay, we'll rest here, fine. So she was better at that on watch. You think there's no glory without risk, but why do you want glory? So you can fight off crowds of admirers? Glory is nice to have, but you can't let it go to your head. When I was a street thief, I lived for pulling reckless stunts, to see the way the other street kids looked at me afterwards. Alright, let's go back to camp. And do more talking. Lan approaches you, casually polishing a ripe apple on his sleeve and smiling. I knew I'd find you here. It's been hard trying to catch you alone recently. Everyone seems to want something from you. You being the commander of the Crusade probably has something to do with it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Lan's expression grows serious. I've seen you fight plenty of times now, the way you charge into battle like everything's depending on you. I don't know if you're trying to be a hero or if it's just your own honour at work, but when I think about you getting hurt, it's like my insides just turn to ice, because we're friends and I worry about you. I know, you're the commander and you've got to lead the charge, but let me protect you. It's the least I can do for you. Lan looks into your eyes. Because we're comrades, right? And I don't want a comrade to be devoured by demons. Do you want to keep leading Lan down this path? I mean, why not? We could say just comrades, seems like a little more than that. Let's not be so... I'm pleased you've taken it upon yourself to protect me, Lan. I feel better when I know you're with me. Lan turns the scaled side of his face to you. I guess I'd hoped you'd say something like that, but I didn't actually believe it possible, so I haven't prepared any kind of smooth response. Will you can count on me, do? Or does it need an extra little flourish? Alright, I'll just add, thank you for your trust, and leave it at that, because this conversation is getting awkward now. Oh, Lan's got a crush on us. How could he not?
That's easy.
Let's go outside and we'll chat to... we'll do the chat with Seelah. We'll also find where Ember is. Oh, hello. Messenger. A message for the commander. A knight in simple armour lowers his voice. I am the Queen's bodyguard. She sent me to tell you she's arrived at camp incognito as planned. You can find her where the minor knightly orders are camped. Come if you wish to speak to her. Tell Her Majesty I'll come at once. Certainly. We've got to play hard to get. We'll keep her waiting. Blacksmith. Oh well, the blacksmith really does... He just sells you stuff then.
Precisely.
I wonder if Staunton's brother is around. I would be sorry to have missed getting that upgrade. If I have missed it. Where's Seelah? There she is. Oh. Seelah looks sad and pensive. It's good to see you. Get this, Janna, the one who ran away when we were attacked by demons, never went back to her unit. She's been seen running toward Numeria. Looks like she deserted. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Or not the only thing. Since our raid on the Houndhant's camp, I've had this sinking feeling that I made a mistake. Dragging you into this, I mean. I should have known that a raid along the edge of the world wound wouldn't be so easy. But mostly, I was wrong about a lot of people. About Janna, who lost her nerve and abandoned her friends. About Curl. I knew he was a thief, but I really thought he turned over a new leaf and deserved a little compassion and trust. And Elan. I thought we were kindred spirits, friends through thick and thin. But it looks like I was wrong about him too. Seelah looks at you closely, waiting for an answer. Don't lose your trust in people, Seelah. So what if you've made a few mistakes? It's no reason to give up on your ideals. Somebody has to show people that there's a better path. Seelah's expression brightens. Thank you, my friend. I needed that support. She sighs. Thanks for listening to my grumbling, and for helping me get to the bottom of this. I'm not going to leave things as they stand. If I get the chance, I'll track down Janna and see if I can talk some sense into her, and find out why Curl did what he did. I can't stop thinking about what Elan told me in the end. I really have become more powerful than paladins who are far more experienced and selfless than me. There's something not right about it. A servant of Iomedae should gain their powers through dedicated personal effort. It's the only way to make sure they'll use the power for good. Our journey so far, it's all wrong. And it means I need to be 3 times as hard on myself now. Just chill out, Seelah. We're doing fine.
Always watch your back.
Where is Ember? It's Nenio over here, right? I have no idea where Ember... Oh, there she is. Hey, Ember. Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again into the distance. How are you handling your new abilities? Abilities? The girl tilts her head on her shoulder. What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned when the big grey house blew up. They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. The Queen gave me the title of Knight Commander and put me in charge of an army. What do you think about that? The elf focuses her wandering gaze on your eyes, smiles and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children of the street, barefoot, hungry and scared, a step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich, like gods, but don't forget who you really are behind the title. I have to go. So go.
Careful now.
Commander, allow me to say something. Irabeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you... This wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At last the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and vague hope that if nobody found the Nevia's body, she might by some miracle have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I'd nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Grey Garrison and won back the city for us. You turned a defeat into victory, and I know it wasn't easy, but you made everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me there's just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Enevia alive standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what others could not. We need reinforcements. Can you get us more soldiers? Irabeth frowns. When we began the march on Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I order more volunteers to be recruited, they simply won't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to the camp, except I doubt that our army coffers could afford it. If you can spare 7,500 gold coins, I will see to our reinforcements. Yeah, sure. You have your orders. Consider it done. It's hard to believe your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than many who inherit them. Irabeth's cheeks blush a little. Thank you, Commander. It's an honour to hear it, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. You must have heard the recent story from the stolen lands in the River Kingdoms. Just imagine coming from nowhere and making it all the way to a royal crown in just a few years. I think that's a reference to Kingmaker, the last game. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I managed to distinguish myself somehow. But then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts, of course. We don't fight for rewards. The fate of the world is at stake. And yet... Irabeth's blush deepens and she falls silent. I have to go. Irabeth says goodbye with a short bow. Where was the Queen hanging out? Oh, there's Olbrig. Oh, there's the Queen. Cheers! Olbrig takes a drink from the flask he is holding. I don't know what this is. A dream? A phase illusion? Or I've popped into another world. But you people sure know how to brew good beer. What do you think of your new powers? I don't like them. Can't deny that they're useful. But this is the way of things I'm accustomed to. Every power must have a name. The powers that druids and shifters have are fair. Gods and spirits grant them to us, and only for good reason. First you have to earn your power, prove you're worthy of it, show you're grateful for it, then you can start using it. But this, who gave this to us? For what purpose? What do we have to give in return? It's one mystery after another. I'll up and tell you what I think. This power feels a lot like ensorcery. In our lands, people could get sent to Threshold for toying with powers like these, for everyone's safety. I have to go. Soft grass underfoot to you.
That's easy.
And there's the Queen. Queen Galfrey nods to you cordially. Her armour is plain and unadorned. As promised, I entered the ranks incognito, along with a few bodyguards. I have introduced myself as Kitrain, an old friend of yours. I am a knight of a minor order, the Green Crows. We shall see how long it takes for a Nevia to sniff me out, the Queen chuckles. Why did you decide to join the crusade after all? Because I have a curious mind. I am quite unable to sit and do nothing for long. The Queen smiles, then grows serious. You ask a difficult question. I must remain as safe as possible. My death or abduction would sow chaos among our forces. However, I am not only a queen, I am also a paladin of Iomedae. It is not in my nature to sit in a place where sit in a palace with my sword sheathed. In a manner of speaking, your request was simply a convenient excuse for me to be where I belong, crusading against the demon hordes. Besides, I am curious to see my new knight commander in action. I have a question for you as well. Why did you wish me to join you on the crusade? Oh yeah, let's be a bit sassy about her position of power. Is it fair for you to send us to our deaths while you stay safe in the castle? That is most impudent, Commander. What would we become if every ruler or general risked themselves thoughtlessly on the battlefield? I'm not... I feel like these questions will have very long answers. You've given an army and the title of Knight Commander to a stranger. Why? Because for hundreds of years I have protected my lands, trying to drive the demon horde back into the abyss. I have tried every right and rational method. The Queen affords herself a brief, grim smirk. My armies have been led by the greatest generals, even Iomedae's angels. My goddess's herald created the wardstones for us. We have tasted victory more than once, but we have failed to close the world wound. As for you, do not call yourself a stranger. You are the saviour of Canabres. Hundreds of its people saw the power that descended upon you and turned the demons to dust. It's the sign they've awaited for decades, a sign for all loyal hearts and followers of Iomedae. The time has come. Hope has been rekindled in the hearts of my subjects, thanks to you. Hope is a priceless resource. I had no choice but to give it wings. You called it the sign they've been waiting for, but I take it you are reserving judgment. Your question seems to catch the Queen off balance. A strange spark flashes in her eyes. When Arodin perished and Iomedae took over his legacy, I was among the first to serve the new goddess. I helped restore her church from the ashes left by the chaos after Arodin's death. Since then, I have served the inheritor loyally and truthfully. I like to believe that I have earned the blessing of my goddess. The Queen's voice is surprisingly ardent. After I learned what happened in Canabres, when I met you at the Defender's Heart, I had so many questions. Is it true that what happened was Iomedae's work? Why did she give this power to someone unknown rather than one of her most loyal followers? Could it be that my faith has grown weak, and I don't recognize the deeds of my goddess even when they are happening right in front of me? Is the goodness somehow testing me? Is the goddess somehow testing me? Those doubts were like poison. But I refused to let them poison me, the Queen finishes strongly. I gave you an army, declared you Knight Commander, and accepted you as I would anyone chosen by the goddess. Why did you entrust me with Darren? The Queen smiles. I saw a wonderful opportunity to teach the Count a lesson and just couldn't resist. Honestly, I expect you to dismiss him forthwith. The Count would have been forced to return to court a laughingstock. It would have been a truly sobering experience. There is nothing more disgraceful for a Mendevian noble than to be discharged like that. Darren Arande, the Queen shakes her head. He was such a lovely child. His mother, Lady Selene, was one of the most gracious people I have ever met. She was amiable yet decorous, and truly kind. Bonds of kinship among the nobility are on the whole highly practical and are only useful for forming alliances. But Countess Arende managed to become a true member of my family. I suppose that's why I spent so much time believing her son could be a better person than he actually was. His company is a heavy burden. Still, I must admit that I am quite pleased that you decided to keep him on as a companion. There is a small chance that once he has had a true taste of the Crusade life, the Count will finally cease to mock the Crusaders as cynically as he is wont to do. May I ask you a personal question? I have learnt so much about Queen Galfrey from chronicles and legends. But what about the other Queen Galfrey, the one that historians and bards cannot see? The queen smiles faintly. That Galfrey is an old woman, weighed down by a great burden. But she has not lost her passion, and she will make the feathers fly when the time comes. Could be a bit flirty with her. Nest is a flirt. She flirts with everybody. We might end up breaking Lan's heart at some point. I look forward to working closely with you, and who knows, maybe feathers won't be the only things flying. Galfrey arches a brow. First, you try to kiss my hand, and now you lower yourself to clumsy innuendo. I am beginning to understand what kind of person my knight commander truly is. Do you really think you are the first person to attempt to charm me with such words? You are not. If you want to impress me, you'll need to do better than that. How does it feel living for so long beyond all natural limits? You're over 100 years old, my queen, aren't you? I understand why you asked. We humans share this world with races whose life expectancy is much longer than ours. When I was young, I also used to ask every elf or dwarf I met how it felt to live 100 years. I shall answer thus. The decision to prolong my life was not mine. It was the decision of the Church of Iomedae. The Sun Orchid elixirs that have been paid for by the Church. The priest determined that I was needed in these dark times, both as a ruler and a chosen paladin of Iomedae. I accepted their decision, and the great responsibility it entails. So the church is getting its money from the people. So basically the people's church tithes are going to keeping their monarch alive forever. It's a bit sus, isn't it? Don't forget, here I am Cutrain, the knight. Okay, we're going to leave it there for now. We've done a couple side quests. I think next time I'll actually look at what, doing the actual kind of crusade, the battle maps, get started on that. But if you want to follow this series, leave a subscribe. I'll be posting daily. And yeah, leave a like or a comment if you're feeling generous. Thanks for watching. See ya.